Hi there and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Christina. Today's video is about 10 things that I want to do differently with my house in 2022. And some of them are things I want to bring in, some of them are things I need to bring out, and let's just get started. Okay, first on the list is a little clue behind me is to bring in new plants. I have 4 plants that I have successfully kept alive. I am notorious for killing houseplants, but I've had a few going strong, and I added in a fiddle fig just right around Christmas time, and it's still alive. It's about 2 weeks in. And I'm hoping to add in even more plants. And additionally, I also would like to have more greenery just around the house, and whether that's bringing in clippings from outside into pots for my kitchen or picking up more fresh flowers, but I want to bring in more greenery. And I love houseplants because economically they're the best thing, and they are living as opposed to like cut flowers from the florist. So I prefer living plants, and I just love how it cleans the air. It brings in an earthy element inside. So definitely investing in more houseplants, as well as, I have so many beautiful vases that are often empty. So I need to start filling them and scattering them around my home just to bring in that little bit of extra greenness. And I even love add it to your bathroom and things where you don't think to always add in fresh clippings. I even love branches that are empty, those kind of just to give it a nice earthy, pretty look. Definitely more green in 2022. And the second thing I want to bring into my home in 2022 is more DIY artwork. Now, I am not known for being crafty. I am not good at DIY, but I have taken a little whack at a few DIY art on canvases, and I have a video coming up, so definitely subscribe and check back into my YouTube channel for some easy, high-end looking DIY artwork. And this is for people that are not artistic. You can pull this off. So I have a little art studio going on in my garage right now, and I hope to incorporate more of those into my home. And one of the reasons why I really want to get into the DIY is because just the sheer cost of artwork. And I'm not opposed to supporting artists and paying for art. I do have a few pieces that I have paid for, but I have very big walls, and to buy artwork to proportionally fill them out, it gets pretty expensive. So to buy artwork that fills up my big walls is pretty pricey. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to DIY some of this artwork. There's a YouTuber whose videos I love to watch. Her name is DIY with KB, and she did a video on this huge canvas. It was 8 feet by 8 feet, and she stretched the canvas just over 2x4 she got at Home Depot, and then went to town on painting. Now, she seems very naturally or trained artistic, and I am not so much, but she made it seem like even I could do it. So that's something I want to incorporate into my home in 2022, and I think I can do it. And check back in and see if I succeeded. And that leads perfectly into the third thing I want to do in 2022, and that's to actually hang up all my artwork. I have, over the several years of owning this home, we've been in this home about 5 years, but we've been in different phases of renovations, and I have not hung up any of this artwork. And I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to see it up on the walls. And whether this is stuff that I've DIY'd or the things that I've acquired over the years, or I also have some sentimental pieces that have been passed down from my parents and my husband's parents that I would love to see up on the walls and start making this house feel more like a home. And this is just one of those things you just got to commit to where it's going to go and put it up on the wall. I often have a hard time committing and being scared that I'm now putting a permanent hole in my wall, but I just got to make a plan and do it. And I know I'll love when all these beautiful art pieces are up on the wall. Okay, and now I'm on to the number 4 thing, and this is declutter. And if you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm kind of a minimalist. I don't have lots of stuff, but I do have some things lingering around that just aren't me. And it is time to declutter. And I'm always one that's decluttering and getting things out of my home, but there are those things that linger on that you just feel badly about getting out, or you think I should be using this, but for whatever reason, you just don't love it. And so I'm to the point where I want it out of my house. I want to look around and have everything that I see be there for a reason and love it. So this year I'm committed to getting rid of the things that you feel badly because you're like, I should have used this, or there's no reason why I don't love this. And, but it just doesn't go with your style or what you want your house to look like. And so I urge you to get rid of those things too. Let's move them out of our house. And someone else will love it. We can send it to the local thrift store or give it to a friend, and someone else can find treasure in our trash. And that leads perfectly into number 5. I only want to bring in things to my home that I am in love with. I've actually gotten pretty good at doing this with my wardrobe, that if I don't love it, I don't buy it, I don't bring it home, or I get rid of it. But for some reason with home decor, that can be a little bit harder. I think for home decor, it can be harder because they're more expensive purchases. So sometimes we choose the cheaper option and pass on the thing that we really love. And then ultimately, I think we waste more money because we buy the thing we don't love, and then we whine about it and we complain about it and say it doesn't work, and then buying something else. And then when we should have just bought the one thing that we really actually wanted and loved and been done with it. So that's kind of where I'm at now in this stage of my home. I have plenty of things that have been hand-me-downs or things that we just have gotten cheaply off of Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. And I'm kind of to the point where it's been utilitarian, it served its purpose, and for that time it was good, but when I look at it, I don't love it. So it's kind of with that decluttering. Get rid of it and then only bring in new what you love. And wait till you find that perfect piece. Don't just buy place fillers. Take your time, be patient. Your house doesn't need to be perfect for like it's gonna be pictured in some design magazine. It can take time. Let a piece settle and breathe and make sure that's what you want, and then move on to the next piece for the room. You don't have to go and spend a fortune. Absolutely not. And along with this, bring in things that you love. I never would suggest, I did a video a while back about home renovations, or maybe it was about kitchen renovations. And this person made this comment saying, well, you're just saying everyone should just go buy the most expensive thing, when I absolutely did not say that. And if you know me at all, I haven't talked as much about this in my videos, but I am 100% about buying things that you can afford, saving up, paying cash. I don't believe in having consumer debt. So buy things that you love, but that you can afford. And I would never suggest to go out and put things on a credit card that you can't pay for. So absolutely not the message I want to be sending. I'm not just saying consumerism. I know a lot of these I'm talking about are talking about some purchases, but always within your means, of course. So one of the pieces that I'm hoping to declutter this year and maybe bring in something new that I love is we have a bedroom set that my husband and I purchased when my husband was in law school. And we had no money. We had one little boy, our son, and very little money. And at that time, it was a perfect piece. It was within our budget. I still have it. It's in amazing condition. It is solid wood, but it's just not my style. And I'm not even sure it was when we purchased it, but it was more my style then than it is now. I've gotten much more modern and contemporary, but it fulfilled what we needed at that time. We're in a different phase now. I can afford to pay a little bit more than the couple $100s that we spent when we were in law school. So it served its purpose. It's been wonderful for our family. And I think in 2022, that furniture set is gonna be pushed out of my home and hopefully find a new home with someone else. Okay, the 6th thing that I am wanting to bring into my home in 2022 is more boucle. I have fallen in love with this trend. And I know it's trendy right now, but I think it's a classic. The more and more, I'm wearing like a boucle vest now, almost like a tweed boucle. I have some pillows and blankets and a ottoman, all from the Studio McGee line from Target. And I just love how cozy and warm the texture it brings. And I don't stray far from black and white and some green, but I love that it brings texture. So I probably would just do it in like the whites and the creams. Oh, even a black boucle. That sounds really luxurious and pretty. Maybe I need to find a chair like that. So I'm wanting to bring in some, I love the boucle swivel chairs. I'm kind of wanting that for my living room. Yeah, I don't want to go overboard and like go too much, but it's definitely a texture material that I love, and I definitely want to see more of it in my home in 2022. And the seventh thing I want to bring into my home in 2022 are more area rugs. And you might hear that my voice is echoing a bit, and that's because I have concrete floors in my home. And we've slowly added in area rugs into my kids' bedrooms. We're slowly moving throughout the house, and it's just hard to make those commitment to rugs because I demand so much of them. I need them to be soft, and I need them to not shed too much. I need them to be high quality, but not too expensive, and they have to be able to wash because I have 4 kids. So I feel like I am asking way too much out of this little rug that it's not gonna give to me. So I wanna be very careful with which rugs I choose to buy and do a lot of research on those. But I definitely wanna add warmth to my house because of the concrete floors. So that's kind of where the boucle adds that softness and texture, and some area rugs and maybe some drapery will soften my home's acoustics and the sterile feeling. You know, it can be very sterile to have a concrete house, a concrete floored house, but I love the minimalism and the ease of the concrete, but I don't want my home to feel like a Costco or a hospital. I want it to feel cozy and homey, even though I have concrete floors. And I think definitely bringing in those textures and fabrics can really help with that. So rugs and drapes definitely for 2022. All right, number 8, I'm really excited for this one. This is bringing in huge mirrors. I love mirrors. We actually have a huge mirror in my living room, and it actually came with the house. When we were looking at this home to purchase, we walked in the front door and we saw this huge mirror, and I fell instantly in love with the house and with the mirror. And we actually put it in the purchase agreement, and the seller accepted, so she left the mirror for us. After having this huge mirror, I've seen the statement it can be, the amount of light it can reflect. As I mentioned, we have big, empty, huge walls that are hard to fill and to know what to do with them. And a mirror is an easy way to style up a wall. And so I'm definitely looking at some more rectangular ones. I love some of the arched ones. So because the mirror I already have is very ornate and traditional looking, I want to add like a really sleek, large mirror to my family room and maybe my bedroom. So I have a few mirror purchases in mind for 2022. And when in doubt, add a mirror. A round mirror, a square mirror, a rectangular, you can't go wrong. But it definitely makes a room feel brighter, more luxurious, and definitely my design tips 101. Number 9, this is one that I've put off, and it is changing out light fixtures that came with your house or that you've had for too long that don't fit your style anymore. And especially we have this for our family room. We have a fan that it gets the job done, but it is nothing fancy. It's nothing nice. I actually hate it whenever I look at it. So I'm ready to get it out of my house and choose something intentional. Lighting is a way to so easily zhuzh up a room. It can make it such a personal style, and not necessarily for a lot of money. There are very high-end light fixtures, but you can get very budget-friendly light fixtures at like Lighting Direct, lighting.com, lamps.com, even Home Depot. You can update your lighting and have it make more of a statement. It's such a wasted opportunity, I think. So I have a few lights in my house this year that I'm hoping to switch out and just upgrade and add my personal style to a space. Also, the lighting can create such a lovely mood and coziness in the evening, as well as, a style statement. So definitely consider updating your lighting for 2022. And this brings me to my 10th thing I wanna change about my home in 2022, and that is that bedroom set furniture that I mentioned. So I kind of snuck this one earlier, but we have our bedroom. I don't know if this is anyone else. Let me know in the comments if this is you. But I like to keep most of my home pretty tidy. But sometimes the mess has to go somewhere. And I feel like my bedroom is where all the stuff that doesn't have a home gets chucked to, piles of boxes that I need to put away gets put in here, the laundry I need to fold gets put in here, and my bedroom becomes not a sanctuary. It is not a place where, my bed's cozy, but I'm not excited to come to my room and just look at how beautiful it is. I want it to be a sanctuary and a retreat for my husband and I. I want to update the furniture, and I want to make it cozy with area rugs and drapes and make this room the sanctuary. That also includes finding homes for all the junk that's gotten in here that needs to be put away elsewhere. So that is my 10th thing for 2022. And I want to sneak in one 11th one, or just a caveat to this whole video. But I know I discussed purchasing and buying things, and I want to reiterate that I'm not intending to make this video about consumerism. I love my home, and I want my home to be a beautiful place that feels like a sanctuary. And sometimes updating these style things can help with that, at least for me. But ultimately, what's most important about your home is that it's a place for respite, it's a place for family, a place for God. And so that's what I want. When you come into my home, I want you to feel the love that's here and not just the beautiful design. That's what's most important. And then secondary, of course, I love artwork and I love a beautiful piece of furniture. And, that is also fun. And you must agree, because you're clicking on this video about, design and home decor. So I think you get it. But ultimately, that's not what's most important. So I hope that you can take some of these tips for things I'm doing for my home. I know some are very specific to, my circumstance, but I think some of these will apply to a lot of people. And I hope that you got some inspiration for things for your home for 2022. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.